Hi guys, welcome to the Military Misfit channel. My name's Calvin. Today I'm going to do a video on the Helicon Tex ambush backpack. This is a small size pack designed for military use. First of all, let's go through its dimensions. So the base of the pack measures 23 centimeters wide. With the utility pockets on the side, that's about 42 centimeters. Height of the pack is roughly 47 centimeters. And the depth of it, including the front pocket, is about 20 centimeters. So this main compartment here is just over 14 litres, and the total capacity of the pack is listed at 22.8 litres. On the front of the pack we have some utility pockets. The top one I have laser rangefinder, GPS, flashlight, and a Swiss Army knife, and some batteries. So the inside of the pocket is lined with loop material, which means that you can fit organizer type pockets. The bottom pouch, and here I have a pair of gloves, a couple of maps, some 10x42 binoculars, an Alma knife, as well as a beanie and a neck wrap, and just some paracord. It's a nice small pouch, good size for organisation, but not too big or bulky. In the front of it you have a mesh pocket that goes all the way down to the bottom, so it's stitched down to that seam there. And then behind that we have two utility pockets, or two flat pockets. For reference, you could fit a magazine in there if you wanted, or perhaps a radio or some other slim item. So on the side here at the top we have 3 rows by 2 columns of PALS webbing for attachment of pouches, and in the bottom here we have a larger utility pocket. The only problem with using that PALS is if you can only put smaller pouches there. If you put too big a pouch there, it'll interfere with this pocket and you won't be able to get the items out. These close with a side release buckle with a 3/4 inch size. And here I have 4 of the Magpul magazines, Magpul P-Mags. These are just the standard 10 round mags in the 30 round box. And in the top of that we have some elastic, so you could tighten that up. So over here we have the bungee, and then we have a cord lock. That cord lock is tied in, so you won't lose it. It can get in the way a little bit depending on what items you're trying to put in there. On this side is the same setup with the PALS in the pocket. And here I have a Pathfinder canteen bottle set. It's a bit too small to fit a jet boil. But 1 litre bottles fit all right. And so this is kind of the problem with these types of bags. If you put too much in the main body, it pushes out into the pocket and it can make things a bit tricky to get in and out. So here's the Pathfinder bottles cook set. So we've got the bottle, the cup, and the cooker. It will work with other bottles, for example the USGI. It'll also work with the British standard military bottle. The problem with these is that they won't work with the canteen cups. It'll be too tight, even without stuff in the bag, so those won't fit in. So moving on to the inside of the bag. At the bottom of the pack, we have some elastic here. Allows you to attach your poncho or similar type item. Just be aware, there's nothing to, it's only held on by friction. So if you are going to carry stuff in there, make sure you tie it on just in case it drops out. Here we have another pocket, and in that is the beaver tail. So the idea behind the beaver tail is that you can carry a helmet. Attaches by Fastex, and it's what these buckles here at the top are, and then also you have this buckle here at the front. So you can carry other items in there, perhaps wet clothes, helmets, ammo, what have you. This is anchored at the bottom with these clips, so it's quite easy to remove if you wanted. And the beaver tail just comes off. Then you have a small pocket in the bottom, so I guess you could carry other items in there if you wanted, if you weren't going to use the beaver tail. The main pocket of the bag opens with a zip, and Helicon uses YKK zippers, so they're quite decent, they flow quite nice. It's 3/4 or halfway opening. In the top here we have another mesh pocket, and in that I have some paracord and a notebook and a marker pen. In the main body of the pack I've got a bottle of water, some chocolate, broken down MRE, some warm kit. This is a Helicon Tex Wolfhound jacket, nice and warm. These are great jackets. And then a poncho, and then lastly a jet boil and just a Millbank filter. So as you can see, the inside dimension is quite a nice size. It allows you to carry a decent amount of kit for a mid-sized bag. The edges are tape sealed and bar tack where necessary. At the top we have a clip for to hang your hydro carrier or hydro bladder, and then up here we have a port for the tube, so you can just run your bladder tube through there. Here we have the frame, and that's just a bit of plastic type material with an aluminium stay, so it's quite rigid. It's a pretty good layout and allows you to carry a decent amount of weight considering the size of the bag. It won't sag on you, and you won't have items sticking into your back either. So for the harness, we have some nicely padded and contoured shoulder straps. These work really well if you're not wearing a plate carrier, but I think it would be annoying if you were wearing a plate carrier. You don't really need all that excess padding and so on. I think it would have been good if Helicon had just put D-rings at the top, and then you could choose between having like simple flat straps or the padded shoulder straps, depending on what you were doing. Down the front we have some webbing, and then here we have an adjustable and removable chest strap. As is typical for Helicon, we've got some elastic on the side there, so there's a little bit of flex in it. Here we have some 1-inch buckles and the strap to adjust. At the bottom here is a couple of tri-glides, and what that allows you to do is have a minimalist, not really a waist strap, more of a stabilization strap, and just allows you to keep everything nice and steady. So that's a quite nice touch as well. On top of that, if you wanted to, You could integrate the pack with a chest rig. This is the Helicon Chicom rig, which is a quite cool little minimalist chest rig. So that will clip into there, like that. And then these shoulder straps will come in here. You're going to want to tighten them right up, or at least I do. And so you can run it like that. It's not always a good idea to run your pack and webbing like that, but it is nice to have the option. And so you then have the option of running the thing as a one-hole rig. I'm sure you could also do this with the Helicon TMR rig or any smaller size chest rig. It's just as long as they're using the 1-inch side release buckles at the top and the sides. Basically, I think it's a good little pack. I've used it out goat shooting, and I use it a lot as a EDC type overnight bag. I can fit my laptop in the main compartment quite easily, and then I tend to carry the next day's clothes, like t-shirt, socks, underwear, sort of in this pocket. Little sort of admin items in there, and then like your toothbrush and so on. For military context, I think it'd be quite good if you're following the principles of Fight Light. The only downside with that is that there's nowhere really to carry mortar bombs or like a LAW type rocket. But there aren't really any straps that you can use to just anchor that type of equipment, and there's no top flap, so you couldn't just like run your kit through the top flap like some other packs. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. I found it quite comfortable. So long as you don't overload it, it's just common sense really. Yeah, keep it within its design parameters, and I found that it works really well. Alright guys, that concludes this video. I hope you found it interesting. If you could do me a favor and hit the old like and subscribe buttons, that'd be really awesome. And don't forget, if you can't be safe, be dangerous. Cheers guys.